All right. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All
Good
right.
evening.
So, if you were, good evening. If you were not, I think there was a class on Friday that was held by my boss, ah, Mr. Mr. Chukura. Is it Chukura? Yes. He held the class on Friday and he touched on this file and explained, I went through the different questions in this document. So I'll just try you know, to build on what he did. So yeah. So this is our data. Now our data is already formatted into a table format. Now I think I mentioned it in the last class that to have your data in a table, you select on anywhere on the data. Control A to select the full data, to select every range of that data, like from beginning to end, you would select it. And our data is ending at row 108. So Control A, then Control T. But I can't do Control T here because of my laptop. But alternatively, when you press on Control T, it will bring out a dialog box for you. This is what the dialog box will ask you to ask you. Okay. But this is already a table. But naturally, once you click on Control T, it should bring out a dialog box, and the dialog box will include um, does your table has headers, and you click on that. If your table has header, now in our case, this is our header: distributor ID, distributor name, country, product code, sales channel, date sold, month sold, quantity, unit price, and revenue. So this is our header in this case. That is why it is it has a different color. So once you do that, or you come to insert, that's now you have to select your data first. Like you have to select the whole range before you click on this table so that it will capture everything. Or you come to insert and click on save. So after doing that, that's like the first thing. Then you come to our questions here. Um, I touched on this, but I'll just go through it again. Now, your team, the problem number one, problem 1A. Your team has been given a list of transactions that require additional follow-up. Identify the associated distributors below using VLOOKUP. Now, based on my explanation in the last class, VLOOKUP looks up value from the left all the way to the right. VLOOKUP meaning vertical lookup. And when we say vertical means top to down, top down, top down. Horizontal is like I've forgotten what vertical means.
You're right, sir.
Okay, I'm correct. So yes, so vertical top down, then horizontal is from your left to your right. So as you all know, there is also H lookup, which is not that popular. Vertical VLOOKUP from your left, vertical top down, but VLOOKUP looks from the top of your right all the way to your left. Hmm, thank you. So we are looking for, in this case now, we are looking for distributor ID, and they've provided the distributor ID for us in our case here. So on our name, And based on my explanation last week, VLOOKUP looks up value from the left of the table to the right. So meaning anything you are looking for has to be on the right of whatever you are using to search for your information. If it's not on the right, you would get an error. So VLOOKUP, you basically need four things to make it work. You need to look for your lookup value, which is what we've been provided with. Then your table array, which is where your data is contained. Then the column, like the column that contains the results you want to extract. Then the last thing is, do you want an approximate match or you want an exact match? So in our case here, our lookup value here is one of our distributor ID here, which is this B9. Let me cancel this and put it in lookup. B9, column B9, because this is B9, comma, in our table array. Our table array, this is our table array.
Oh God, no. Don't phone now. Can you go?
Sorry about that. I've muted the person. So we are picking our table array, which is distributor ID and distributor name. I'm only selecting the first two because what's okay, I think I was in the makeup class that happened on Friday, where our tutor was saying we should select the whole table in a case where our search expands. But for me, I just like doing this because it's a faster way and because I already know what I want to do. But let me just I would select the whole table range all the way to J, comma. So, comma, the next thing I want to do is, where is my distributor name? Because what we are looking for is actually name, is the name. So, and my name here on the table, it is on the second column. So I'm going to put 2, comma. So what do I want? Like my error, do I want an exact match? I want an exact match. So I would do false. False is what represents exact match. Then I click enter. Now you can see we found the name of this distributor ID. If we want to do a quick check, I can just copy this and come here and just do a quick search. Apply. And we can see this is the name we actually got here. Uriel Benton. So also with this, since we can easily just drag this down. We can easily just drag this down. Anika. Now Anika is speaking 23315. If we also do a quick search for this, I believe we should get Anika as well. Anika from Burkina Faso. So that is how you quickly answer. That is how you quickly use VLOOKUP. to do your search. Now moving on, using sales data sets. Oh, sorry, using the sales data sets. I was reading the question. So in this case, we use name. In this case, they want us to use sales channel. So where do we have sales channel here? We have sales channel in column E. Who is this? Please mute yourself. Uzoma.
Yes.
Who is this person for me? Please, let's align a big. Okay, so for our next question, we are trying to find information from sales channel. Let me see if this thing has uploaded. That's not. I'm trying to upload something so I can share with us. It's not uploading. Why? Just 1 minute, please. What's wrong with this network? All right, so our next problem, we are looking for the sales channel for these IDs over here. Okay. Yeah, so we would go again, equals to VLOOKUP, select the ID we are looking for, which is in the cell B19, comma, come to our data, select our range, comma. Now this is showing data because we have it in the data sheet. That is why it is showing data over here. So our sales channel is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is in column 5. Column 5, and I say exact match, and I close my bracket, enter. And we can see that our sales channel is retail. When I just do a double click down here, it duplicates what's it called now? It spills this information over for me, and everywhere it finds a distributor ID, it will bring out the corresponding sales channel. And if you do a quick check, let's just check this to to be sure we are getting it right. Our sales channel is direct, and we actually have direct here. So same thing for this, equals to VLOOKUP, distributor ID, select our data range, select our data range. Our sales channel is in column 5, and we want exact match, direct. Quantity, where is quantity? Where do you have quantity? We have quantity in column. We have quantity in column H, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's all right. Thank you. So this, I can just copy this. So don't let me copy it. Let me go there. Equals to VLOOKUP, sales ID, comma, data range, A all the way to J, comma, H is in 8 and exact match. Those brackets equals to. We have quantity 168. And lastly, revenue. Revenue is in column J, which is that is going to be number 10. Thank you, Divine. Number 10, VLOOKUP, distributor ID, select my data range, comma 10, comma 4. What did I do to these people like this? And that is that. The only reason why this thing is not uploading. Wow. So apparently I have a situation. The whole street has lights, but my apartment does not have lights. Meaning I've been suffering since morning. Wow, beautiful. Let me continue and I'll think about my life later. Nested VLOOKUP with if error and pull the name associated with the distributor ID. Okay, so nested VLOOKUP with if error and pull the name associated with the distributor ID. Now, this happens in a situation where we will get an error and we want our information to be clean, to be the way we want it. We don't want any error popping up into our face. Errors such as NA or uh, or or value error, those kind of things. So we are going to nest our VLOOKUP into if error. Now, how do we do that? Now, if error is saying if this thing is equal to error, if this thing is showing any error, this is what you should show. That is basically the explanation. If what and I want to get to, if it's not coming out to, is now coming out as error. Okay, return a value that I have specified for you. Let me extend my screen so that let me extend my screen because I just did a present something else. If error share. All right. So if error, I don't want to watch your face. Yeah. So if error, you're giving me free try. Okay now. Okay, you can use if error function to trap and undo error in a formula. If error returns a value you specify, if a formula evaluates to an error, otherwise it returns the results of the formula. So if error, then what your value should be. Then value if error. That is, if this thing comes to error, this is what I want it to show. That is what this syntax is telling us. The if error function syntax has the following arguments. Value, which is required. The argument that is checked for an error. Now, value if error, required as well. Now this is the value that it will return if there is an error. Now let's do it. So I will show us how this thing would come. Then would nest it into if error. So VLOOKUP this comma, go to my data. Country is in column C, which is number 3. Number 3, exact match, close brackets, South Africa. I double click this down. Now, we can see we have an error there, meaning I don't think we have this in our data, but let's just do a quick check to be sure. No matches. You can see that we don't have this 30,000. Oh, sorry. I forgot sorry. I forgot I was sharing something. Let me get something else. Sorry. I might be try. All right, so we are back. Okay, okay, I should zoom in. Even though this thing is at 100% already. Can you see it now? Is it better? All right. Let me change this one too. Is it okay now? All right, okay. All right, so I was saying, I need to take this thing down so that I can see properly. Okay. Yes, so I would recap this. Let me delete it. All right. So I was saying that we'll look at I would use this VLOOKUP without putting it in this if error, without nesting it in if error first. So we'll see the error we will be getting. So we have to look for country. So let's just start equals to VLOOKUP distributor ID, comma, come to our data range, select this all the way to the end. Let me just put this on it. Okay. Select this all the way to J, and country is in column C, meaning 3, comma, false, close bracket. Now we have South Africa. Now I can just drag this down. So we get the corresponding for this. Now we can see that we have NA here. So meaning that either our formula is wrong or it can't find one of these value. But based on this error, it's saying not available. That is what it is showing us here. Value not available error. That is the value. A value is not available to the formula or function, meaning there is nothing. So if you do a manual check for this 40,000 now, we do a manual check for distributor ID. I paste this, saying no matches, meaning we don't have it. Now, you can leave it like this and say, okay, uh, we don't have it. So, but this doesn't make your work look nice. You wouldn't want to do this to your work. So now, nesting this into if error, I'll just come here, or we'll start from the beginning again. So the first thing I want to write is if error. Now I need, okay, value. Now the value, my value is now going to be my VLOOKUP. So meaning the value it should display should be what my VLOOKUP would naturally display. VLOOKUP. So my lookup value is this, comma. Now nothing changed actually. We are only putting VLOOKUP into if error. So the same way you write your VLOOKUP previously, the same way you write it now. It's just that we are putting it into something. And we are also adding something at the end after writing our VLOOKUP. So I'm coming to my data. I'm selecting my data from selecting the whole range, comma, country 3, then exact match, which is false, close brackets. Now you can see that after I close the brackets for the VLOOKUP, you know that not before I'll just click enter. Now after I close the brackets, it brings me back to this value, which is this is the value. So if I will say comma, so now the comma I'm going to put is signifying I want to move to the next argument. Now the next argument is saying, okay, oh, if this VLOOKUP brings error, what should I display? So I want to display not. So I have to put this in quotes because it is text. So I want to say not. Is it that it's so small for me? It's too small. Is it too small? Let me see what you're saying. Can't see my screen. Are you sure? You can't see my screen.
I can see the screen.
Hey, apologies. Is this light? There's no light. I will have shared the screen to a bigger screen, but I'm using my laptop screen, so uh please you can try to I'll try to zoom in more so that we can see. Try to zoom in. But if I zoom in, this but okay, let me use this. Let me use my browser zoom. Is it better like this? Is it zooming? Now that I have zoomed, is it okay? Alright. Now it's all humongous in my face now. Anyways. Yeah, so now I want to say, okay, if this thing is an error, if this our VLOOKUP returns error, what should I display? That is the value if error. So I want to say no info available. Then I close my brackets equals to. Now, when I drag this down, you'll notice that this NaNA, it will now change to this no info available that I have specified here. Now let's just do that. You can see that is next next VLOOKUP with if error and pull the name associated with the distributor. You can see we still have our VLOOKUP like we normally did, and we only added if error and this no info available. So moving on, we'll move on to name now. Name. I don't want to type too much. Let me just see. Don't let me do that because I didn't log this. Let me log this. Let me log this. Log. Sorry about that. Don't let me mess. Don't let me mess with this. All right. So you do the same thing for name as well, but this time I'm going to go straight into the formula equals to if error. Now our value is going to be our VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, distributor ID, comma, our data range, which is from A to J, comma, our name is in column B, which is 2. Our name is in column B, which is 2, comma, false, close brackets. Now my value if error. Where did this thing disappear to? What's this now? This why? Sorry, I need to take this thing back down. I don't understand what I was saying. Alright. No, value if error. Now my value if error. Let me just say none. None. Then close brackets. So none. Doesn't have any name. Lastly, we'll do revenue. Revenue is in column column J, that's number 10. So equals to if error VLOOKUP my distributor ID, comma, my data range. My data range from A to J, comma, my revenue is in column J, which is 10, and I want an exact match, close brackets. And if there is no value, or if the value is error, bring out no revenue, close brackets, equals to, and that is that. Why did you mute it? Or who did that? Who muted the presentation? Alright, no revenue. Now we can see that there is already a pre-formatted function here. It's saying that sum to sum E42 to E48, so it is summing all the cells with value. That is basically what this is doing, and we came up with $1,242. The team has been given a list of transactions that requires additional follow-up. Identify the associated distributors below using VLOOKUP. For some reason, this thing is not uploading. Why? The pivot table file I want to share with us is not uploading. This thing is trying to whine me. It does not work. I want to upload it first so that I can share with us. It's not working. Okay, so let me see if there are any. Alright. So now we want to check this as well. So let's just continue with our if. So most times where you notice that your VLOOKUP would return an error, or once you notice that your formula will return an error, not that your formula, not because your formula is wrong, but because you, but because there's some aspect of your data that uh, okay, okay. So there are some. What was I saying? Okay, yeah. I was saying that. So there are some aspect of your data that would maybe they are missing for some reason or something, and you would return. It would want to return an error. It is advisable you use if error, from the start. For example, if you are working with a data that has value, maybe you need to do like a measure on the value, like you need to do an addition or a subtraction. And for example, when you want to when you divide something, I think, yeah, when you divide something, it can bring up that okay, this thing can be divided by this. It will bring up div. I think that's div error, and you don't want that. You can just use if error and just specify that it should just show zero. It should show zero, and I think Excel, or you can just signify that it should just be empty. That cell should be empty. It should not show anything, which is what I'm going to do next. So VLOOKUP, um, yeah, VLOOKUP. We are looking for this from our data range, which is A to J, from what are we looking for? Okay, name. True, false, then value if error. Value if error. So what I did here now is, hey, what have I done? All right. So what I've done here with this quote that I've added is, I'm just saying, you can see I didn't add anything here. That means it should be empty. I want it to be empty if there is an error. Close. You can see there's a formula here. It's because I have specified that I want this to be empty. I want the string to be empty. That is why we do not get any value here. So if error, VLOOKUP, lookup value data range. Every time I have to call it, comma, then, comma, false, close brackets, close brackets, bam. Now, these rows, they are empty. These two, they are empty. They are empty. Let's just do sum. Let's just sum it. So you can see Excel this thing is already telling me that, oh, you want to sum both. So if I just say enter, it sums it for us. So you can see this is summed already. Then lastly, use the sales. We want to pull unit price. What was the time? Okay, unit price, which is column I. So let's just pull unit price quickly. If VLOOKUP this data into J, 9, false. Close brackets, empty equals to, okay, so you can see all this does not have These two, they don't have value. So our average unit price, just to average uh, this all the way down. And our average is this. Alright, so we are currently at 750. So just for the next 10 minutes, we use that for questions. So if you have any question by 8, we'll continue. Hopefully this file has will have uploaded by then. So we can. So next 10 minutes, please, if you have any questions, come up. Let's answer your question. If there are no questions, just say also. Can we hear me? I've been talking to myself.
No, yes, sir, we can hear you.
Alright. Somebody raised up their hands. Akinbody. Oh, no question. You.
Good evening, sir.
Sorry?
Good evening, sir.
Okay, good evening. I thought you said good evening, sister. Good evening, ma.
No, I said that. Please, I want to ask that if our lookup value is under sales channel, probably online. Do you get what
The
I'm saying,
lookup
sir?
value is
It's
under sales
online
channel.
under the sales channel.
Yeah.
Which of the online will VLOOKUP pick?
Oh, okay, okay,
So
okay.
there are
I get what
multiples
you're saying.
online. Yes, which of the
Yes.
online will pick?
VLOOKUP would pick what is relevant to the distributor ID. Now, in our example here, let me go back. So in our example here, where we have the sales channel, VLOOKUP would only pick what is relevant to this distributor ID. So if I go back to sales channel and I change this distributor ID, this 233378, if I change it to a different thing, this would also change. So VLOOKUP is only looking at this distributor ID to return whatever is correspondent for that distributor ID under sales channel. So even if there are hundreds of the same, it should only pick what is relevant to the distributor ID. Do you get? So let me copy this code and just do a change. So I would change the distribute the sales channel for this. Um, what is this? So I'll copy see and paste here. Apply. Now this is online. I'll just add something to it. Online slash Jumia. Jumia. You can see that this is online, but it is now slash something else. When we come here, you can see that it has changed to online. This is how you know it is only picking what is relevant to the sales, to the distributor ID. Have I answered your question, ma? Where is she? She has run away.
Please, sir, can
All
you
right.
come again? I didn't get you.
Okay. Let me explain again. So previously we had, yeah, I think this was the one I edited. So let me cancel and go back. Said, let's remove this. Okay. All right. So our question was, if there were multiple, why didn't this one change now? Okay. All right. So she's asking that if there were uh, like which one, like how does I can't even remember how she asked the question again. That how does VLOOKUP pick the online for this distributor ID? So and I explained that VLOOKUP would only pick what is specific or what is corresponding to the distributor ID in the sales channel. So meaning VLOOKUP will not search for this ID and go and return what is not present in that distributor sales ID. Like for example, now VLOOKUP can be looking up 23324 and is returning retail or returning direct. Even if there are 100 online here, which is why I changed the online. I added something in front of it. Added something in front of it just to differentiate that VLOOKUP would only pick what is relevant to the distributor ID. So and I went ahead to change this online that you are seeing here. This online you are seeing here, which is here, just for you to know that it is this same online that it is returning over here, which is why I added slash Jumia so that you will see it reflect over here. So any other question? What's the time? I have just 3 minutes more. Any other question?
Okay, sir, I have a question. I don't know if it's related to VLOOKUP. So if you want to, you have codes in line with names, and if you want to separate it, how do you go about that, please?
Please provide an example in the chat. Just give me an example in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other question?
Okay, yes, please. I tried to do this thing, but mine does not drag down. Even that nesting, that VLOOKUP nesting, each time I do it, I'll have to do it one by one on each cell. It never drags down. So I really don't know how you are dragging yours down, that it just drags down and puts all the answers.
Which Excel are you using, ma?
I don't know. I'm just using the Excel that is on my system. When it didn't work, then I used online sheets. It still didn't work.
And it still didn't work.
Yes.
So when you drag down, what do you see? It
It's
doesn't.
the same answer, like the answer on the previous cell. It just repeated the same thing. So I had to go cell by cell and be changing the formula, be changing the number.
Okay, let me just explain something. I would increase my font here. All right. So you can see my cursor. You can see the symbol of this my cursor, of my mouse cursor. You can see that, right? Yes. Now you will notice something when I move this cursor. When I move it to this, see this box like thing that is beside this that is sharp beside this border, this big border. When I place my cursor on it, you can see that it changes. Do you notice that? You can see it changes. Yes. So when it has changed, like that is when you drag down. That is when you drag down and you get your required answer or your required solution. Now you can see that I'm also getting. Now this I want to name this as autofill. It's like an autofill button, an autofill box. That now autofill function, copy cell, fill series, or flash fill. This one I don't think we touched on them, but so what I'm just trying to explain is that maybe you need to look out for your cursor when you place it on this box. You should only drag down when it changes. When it is no longer a bigger plus sign, but it is more tiny. That is when you should drag down. I think that would solve the issue.
So I've pasted my question on the chat.
Okay. So you want to what is it? Okay. All right. I would answer this. But let's move on. Let's move on. So I think we are done with this VLOOKUP thing. So we can that's like the correction. So nobody should ask me for correction. We've done the correction in class. Simple as APC, right? Ah, why can't I do this? Why is this not uploading? Something is not right. Okay, I know what to do. Okay, so I'll show us this. Just that my Excel on this laptop doesn't function properly, but let's go on. So all done with this file. So I would stop sharing this now. Stop sharing, and I'll move on to a different file. Okay, let me share my screen. I have to share the entire screen. Ah, Uzoma, I don't know. No, I don't think I was. I tried to do that thing. I tried to sit down with it, but I was too distracted to complete it. I need to. Okay, can we all see my screen? Wait, this screen. Yes. I don't even know where the call is anymore. All right, this is the call. God, I beg you. Okay. Okay, all right. This is what I wanted to do. No, but people who say they can't see my screen now, and I don't distribute this into two now. Let me move this one. And that's what I'm saying. It's not even going. Not going. Okay, so yes, the connection was made by Chuku. Hey, so I don't want to mother Chukura. Yes, the connection was made by Chukura on Friday. So and uh, it's will. Don't worry, I'll personally make sure it is uploaded so that we're all on the same page. I honestly thought I'll be able to do the correction, but honestly, I tried to do it this morning, but I had I had plenty other things that was just bombarding me. I couldn't focus on it. All right. So this is what I was trying to share with us. That just explains, real. Sorry, I said really. That explains pivot table, from beginning to. Let me increase brightness so that I say brightness. Let me increase size. Can we all see this properly? Can we all see this properly? All right, you can see it. Good, perfect. Don't mind. I need to be seeing this call tab so that because I don't have access to my other screen. Okay. I like this. I don't want to think about this like that. Okay, what is a pivot table? In its most basic form, a pivot table takes data and summarizes it so you can make sense of it all without typing formula. Doesn't mean pivot table doesn't mean pivot table 100% eliminate formulas. Oh. That is not that this thing is misleading. If you think, I don't want to be typing VLOOKUP, I don't want to be typing if, some ifs, it's a lie. Oh. You will still type formula if you are going to use pivot table effectively. So, but now in our example, this is data. This is data. The data has buyer. Please, who is that? Mute yourself, please. Who is that? Thank you. So this data has date, that's buyer, that's type, that's amount. Then this pivot table has been summarized. It summarized it into buyer and the sum of the amount each buyer bought. Now you can see that we have different buyer or we have multiple buyers that is duplicated. Now mom, for example, mom bought sorry, mom bought fuel on the 1st of January. Then on the 15th of January, mom also bought food. Am I the only one? Can we all hear me? Was she the only one?
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear you.
All right. So you have to check your network. Oh. Someone should help me type it. You should check her network. All right. So mom bought fuel on the 1st of January. Mom also bought food on the 15th of January. Whereas dad only bought something related to sports. Kelly bought food, bought music, bought ticket as well. Mom also bought food on 5th. So, we can do this. We can sum this. We can sum this. We can do some ifs for this to return everything mom bought. But if you don't want to, go that longer route, you can just use pivot table too. And that is what pivot table has done for us here. It summarized everything each in the report. Dad only spent $20. While meanwhile, mom bought items worth 544. When we sum this and also sum this as well, it gives us everything mom bought. And also Kelly as well. Uh Kelly bought in 77 and we have a grand total and we have a grand total of 834. That is basically what pivot table does. It summarizes your data for you. So as you can see, this is a, let me increase this as well. We can see this is a simple pivot table. But here, that was a simple example, just like this document has set it now. Here is a more sophisticated one. This one shows the spending amount broken down by type of purchase and by buyer. So this is a more sophisticated pivot table, which has been broken down, to see, in this example, we only saw the amount each person spent. But this one, we are now seeing further what they spent, it on. It's just like this as well, but in a more, just with a grand total of what they spent on each item and what each person also spent. So it's giving us more information. Okay, we can now know how much was spent on food, how much was spent on books, how much was spent on fuel, how much was spent on music, how much was spent on. I don't think anyone bought anything that is similar. Like that buying fuel, that nobody, everybody bought things unique to themselves. So that is that. As you can see, we can also do pivot chart as well. Yeah. So pivot charts meaning it's just a easy way for us to visualize our data. To see what our data is looking like. You can see from the just from looking at this that food is what got the most money. Mom spent over she spent over $400 on food, you know, and music and sports are the least items that took money. Just under $20 each, or just $20 each. Next, what 60? All right, so it is now telling us, okay, let's back up. The first step to making a good pivot table is to make sure the data is in good shape. So make sure you do the following before you make one. So you have to name your columns. Your column meaning your column there has to be header. And how do you do that? The first thing I would expect everyone to do is to make their data into a table. Make it a table. There is no way you make a data into a table that there won't be header. So name your columns. This is just another way to tell you that you should make your data into a table. I don't overemphasize this. Make it into a table. And make sure there are no duplicate rows or blank cells. This one I can't be so sure of. Next. All right, how do we work on pivot charts? All right, I'll answer your question. Yeah, something to keep in mind. Lots of people use the word column, but to a pivot table, a column is a field. Okay. Try to remember this as you progress with the tutorial. So we have a good to know hint here. Why the word field is just a traditional term used when working with data and database application. The pivot table menus and buttons use the word field a lot. So if you get used to it now, it will make things easier as you make pivot table. This is so explanatory. That is why I love this document a lot. I don't have to talk too much. You know, the document does the talking. I don't have to talk too much. Increase this to 170. Yeah, let's stay at one. Right. Start. Empty. Now we're done. Alright, let's focus on one of the fields. One of the fields below, the amount field, is probably the most important. So yes, that's true. One thing about pivot table that I've noticed though is that there is always something that we are adding up. It's either we are counting or we are summing or because there's a part. Who is that? Who is not muted? Don't worry, I've muted you. I love this option a lot. Can mute you. Can mute you. Alright. So it's telling us that this field should be summed up. Why? Because it's an amount field. It contains values. It contains value. You can sum it up. This is text. You can't sum it up. The only thing we can do about this in a numerical aspect is to count it. The only thing we can do is count it. You can count unique, you can count the number of occurrence, same as this. But this one, we can do couple of calculations on it. We can do addition, we can do subtraction, we can do whatever we want to do. Next. So we did that. We sum up the amount field with a pivot table. Really? Yes. Sum of amount and 800 makeup is not So say it may not look like much, but this is a pivot table. Yes, as they look am like this, na pivot table. Yes. So next, I'm just taking us through this document when so that it supports what Ebenezer has taken us through on Thursday. So you can also use there is no attendance. I thought that has been addressed already. There is no attendance. There's no attendance. Attendance is be taken automatically. Just be on the call. It will be taken. Or you want to leave the call halfway. Is that what you are planning to do? There is no attendance. Alright. So you're saying why make such a small pivot table? Because it emphasizes the concept of a pivot table value field. If one of the field in your data contains numeric values, a pivot table can totally talk. When it does this, it's called a pivot value field. A pivot value what? A pivot value field. So this was what I explained previously. This field contains numeric values, and this pivot table made it into a value field. So this is a value field. Next, increase So it's not saying pivot table start getting interesting when you add condition that divide or break down the value field. In this case, we added a new condition of buyer to divide the value field. You can see that this is what we saw in the first slide, but this was just explaining to us, but this is now becoming more technical, where we now understand that okay, this buyer now represents a condition in pivot table. We added a condition here to divide the value field by buyer, so we know what what the grand total. We know it on a granular level. We know it, by sub or by buyer. So we have another version here. Okay, so here's another version of pivot table, but this time we added the condition of type to see how much was spent for each type of purchase. So how much was spent on books, on food, on fuel. This is very simple because same thing we have here is the same thing we also have here, but you know, just think about when you have a large data set, how this would quickly help you, summarize your data. And next, can't see. How is this thing? So another pivot table term, the condition we've added so far are called pivot table row fields. In this example, the row fields break down or divide the value field, which was what we just explained. So now everything we've digested, let's review them. Me, I can't say this will happen, but you learn how to actually make a pivot table in a few moments. But let's review the concept we've taught you so far. First, you have to start with good data. A row field breaks down what? Breaks down a value field. Very, very simple. First, you start with good data. Then it now tells you that once your data is good and you've made it into a pivot table and you have a row field, what a row field does is it breaks down a value field for you to know, for you to understand. Okay, Mr. Ebenezer did a great job, which is perfect. Now, when you create a pivot table in a moment, you see the pivot table field list. It's not just a list though, it's more like a panel. At the top, you see the field from your data. Now you can see these are our data fields, for example. These are our data field. You can see the dates here. This is our date, this is our buyer, this is our type, and this is amount. Excel looks at the data and then lists the field by name, year. Excel will look at this. If you look at this, why am I moving this? Excel will look at this and then list the field by name, year. It will list it here for you. So it is what we now have here that will now be dragging into these 4 areas that we have below. We have filter, we have column, we have rows, and we have values. Now, you can see we have column we have row. Now, whatever you move to any of this place is what you get. Garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put is what you will get. Whatever you put is what you will get. Yes. So, as you can see, this thing says valid, meaning you can only put fields that has value in it, or not maybe. I think you can put type here too, and you can only do counts. Maybe you do counts on it. Me too, I'm learning as you are going. Not like I know it like that, like that. Uh, sorry, one. Okay, I think I have like enough. I share this thing. It's not working. How will you have like and it will not be working? I'm sure there's somebody on this call that will tell me now that I should pack my things and leave Lagos. You know yourself. Mm, ah, oh, so it's not just me. You already know her. Okay.
So you're not sharing your screen again.
Yes, yes, I know, I know. I want to
Okay.
show this. All right. Okay. Now this is big enough. You can see this, right? Good, 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 good. It's large. This is. You should not fight. Oh. I'm not there. Okay, so it's saying best practice. If you are ever unsure how to start, a pivot table, think about creating the value field first. Fields that are best for values are ones with numerical amounts. In this example, the amount is the best one. Just like I said, like please, so I should zoom. Is this okay? This okay. I'm already at 230, 230%. Let me put it at 250. This 250. Can you see like divine what? You share as you zoom and I'm zooming so that they can see. Alright. Yeah, so if you are ever unsure how to start a pivot table, think about creating the value field first. fields that are best for value are the ones with numerical amount. In this example, amount is the best one. The other fields, dates, don't contain numerical value, so they aren't the best ones to use for the value field. Okay, some of us are using laptop. So it's bigger than your laptop screen, Abby. Is that what you are saying, Divine? Let me unzoom it small. It's looking somehow, Abby. Sorry, I get you. Let me just keep it at 180. It's okay at 180 like this. If you can't see, you to expand your screen. This one is okay like this. Hey, Jesus. Yeah, moving on. 15. Just that I have to manually increase it. 17. Okay. Okay, so it's now telling us that after you drag the field to the value area, sum of AM will appear at the bottom of the pivot table. So meaning sum of amount. This is just a short because it can't, pick out the full name. So sometimes Excel doesn't have to show the full name, which is really sum of amounts. So this document, it's explaining to you like you're a baby. So after this thing, if there's assignment or pivot table, no, nothing like I don't understand. I don't want to hear. Then it also talks about honestly, I'm tired. This week, person no rest. Monday to Sunday. What is it? Then you want to, so going back to what I was explaining, then you want a condition to divide the value field by, and to do that, you drag any of the other field down to the row area. So I'm going to share this, I'm going to send this document, with um that's plus what Ebenezer shared, so you can have better understanding of this. So, because there is no attendance. There's no attendance. That means you are just you are just coming to this class by this time. There is no attendance. Attendance is taken automatically as long as you are in the class. So that means if you are not in the class, no attendance for you. Be in the class. You just want me to be talking too much. All right, this one is self-explanatory. I'll move to the next one. And I'll leave them. They want to mark attendance, mean the jackpot. Hey, Jesus. This light has gone off again. What is this? Oh, I can still see this thing, even though the light has gone. I can still use this. Interesting. All right. So this thing is telling us, I'm not there. So this thing is telling us is literally showing us, how to create a pivot table. So it's saying step 1, below and to the right is the pivot table area. Click anywhere inside that area. So the pivot table field list should appear on the right. If you don't see it, now this is referring to when you are working on this on your, don't see it. Click and then click show field list. If I right click on this now, it's like my own mouse does not have right click. Escape. Okay, can I do? Can't let this thing come and stress me. Alright. Okay, we can still see my screen. Just that I will not be able to see any reaction you guys make. But alright. So yeah, so this was what I was trying to say. When you click on it, you can't see anything, just right click and show field list. So it will pop out this, it will pop out this, yeah, it will pop out this part of the pivot table fields for us to see. Then we drag our amount, for example, drag our amount to drag it to value. We have our sum here. Then we can drag our buyer to rows as well. Good job, you've played the fields correctly. So when you try this, if you don't get this good job, that means you've not done a good job, you've done a bad job. So you should get this once you do that, or once you do this. Yes. I'm happy we are on the same page. So 19, which is the last one, I think. So on the last step, on the next step, you create a pivot table from scratch. When you do, there's something to keep in mind. Excel puts pivot table on a new separate sheet to the left of the sheet you are on. So I don't have to explain this too much. We'll just use our remaining time, to create a pivot table from scratch. I know we've already done that, but who is using a laptop here? I want to just show us. Wants to share their screen. I want somebody to share their screen. X lookup. Hey, that's true. I don't almost forget. X lookup. The issue is data. Do I have data to show X lookup? Let me see. Data. And I work on something about X lookup yesterday morning now. But that's my company's work. I cannot share my company's data here. Let somebody come and okay, let's just have somebody. Somebody should come and share their screen. So they should use this data from our VLOOKUP. They should use it to create a pivot table. So please come. Who wants to share their screen? It's kind of late for us to come. More than welcome. See, that's why I don't want to. Once it's 9, I'm ending this class. I don't want to waste time. So Divine, they say you should come and share your screen. Yeah, Divine, come and share. Come and share. Let me unshare. Stop sharing. Somebody should come and. Yes, ma. Yes, ma. I will do that, ma. Thank you, ma. You be you people are so funny. Hey, don't have ego. Glory, you come and share your screen. You come and share your screen. I'll start calling people I'm familiar with. People. Kehinde, Arabi Kehinde, can you share your screen and show us?
I already turned off my system. It's low already, so I can't share.
Okay. Okay,
I thought I
somebody is
saw
going.
Emmanuel trying. I thought
Emmanuel,
I saw
sorry.
Emmanuel Young.
Emmanuel, do you want to
He
share?
wanted to share his screen before. Please, anybody using laptop because of time.
If you can't share, no problem. We'll cancel it. Emmanuel, can you share?
Scared,
They are
scared.
scared. Okay, no problem.
Mhm.
I'll not be scared though. Okay, Oluyemi, oya share. Oluyemi, share. Oluyemi, please share fast, 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 fast. So we'll use the remaining 15 minutes for question and answer. Let me go and look for that question that was asked. Oluyemi. If Oluyemi doesn't want to share, no wahala.
Opeyemi said she will share.
And if you want to share, go on. I give you the floor.
Please share. Oh, I want to share. Okay. Oluyemi is sharing now.
All right.
Which data should I use?
You can use that VLOOKUP data. Every time, uh, no be only tutor, may they share.
Is, is it this one?
Yes, use this one. Just run us through one or two. One or two. Ah, your data is in
What?
view only. I don't think you'll be able to. You won't be able to create.
Oh,
See if you can take it away from. You need access. Wait, who will give you
I
access?
was working on
Am I
something.
the one?
Okay. No.
Okay, I'm not the one. All this àwọn àgbà data analyst làwọn lè. God abeg. That's true. We do Power BI in this class. Ah, or if you don't worry, let me just share. Time is going.
Okay.
Time is going. If let me just use the data we have. I wanted somebody. I just wanted somebody to share, but okay. Oh, this data has been shared. This information has been shared already. My bosses, they have it. No problem. Thank you very much. Chinelo. That's fine. Thank you very much. All right. So just mentioning, I've shared everyone's assignment too. So I'm not owing anybody mark again. I've done everybody's assignment and I've marked it. Even though I didn't provide correction, but I've marked it. That's the most important. Who is coughing? So the first thing, our data is already in a table. So nothing we need to do about that. The next thing we want to do is go to insert, and we have pivot table here. And what we want to do is insert from table or range. When I click that, it's going to ask me, can we see my screen? Yes, we can. So it's going to ask me, do I want to insert it in a new sheet or existing sheet? I want to insert it in a new sheet. So once I click a new sheet, it's going to open a new sheet for me. Now remember that in the example or in the document that was shared, it told us that it would create it to the left, but this one created it to the right. I don't know. Is Microsoft will ask why it's different here. So now we can see our pivot table fields over here on our right. It is quite different from what is in our example, but it is the same thing. We have our filter, we have our row, we have our columns, and we have our value. Now, quickly, I can just drag revenue all the way to values, and I can see from the beginning the sum of revenue. Now, that is the sum of everything here, the sum of everything over here. Sum of everything over here is 82,000. We can see that here, 82,543. 82,543. Now, there's a lot of things we can do. Let me increase this because some persons might say they can't see it. There is a lot of things we can do, For me, if I right click on this now, for example, or I click on this drop down, I can change. I can say, okay, I don't want to see some. I don't want to see some. Let me show us so that I don't want to see some value field setting. I don't want to see some. I want to count, or I want to see average, or is max I want to see. That is what is the maximum revenue in this data, or what is the minimum, or what is the product, or count the numbers, or standard deviation, or variance. What do I want to see? That is, or show value as. All these ones would be looked at. Then I want to look at, okay, what is my country by revenue? I can move this one, to rows. It will just summarize all the countries. Now, this is all the countries there. I can see them by rows. We have, I think this is 98 countries or 97 countries. We have 97 countries. Why I say 97 is because this starts from column 3. So you remove 3 from 89. So that's 86 or 87 countries for this. And we can go further. Okay, we can put filter on which day. Let's say we want to see which date were this sold. If we come up, we see our dates. We can filter it. I want to select by, let me see, by 3rd of January. If I apply this, 3rd of January, only Fiji was, but I think this data is not a true representation of what I wanted to show us. Not a true representation. I don't like it. Let me use a different data. Let me use a different data. You want, I should show pivot. Oh, I think we'll end the class here. because me, I'm tired and I don't want to go past. I don't want to go past 9 p.m. So please, the document has been shared by Chinelo on the channel. Please, so it is self-explanatory, coupled coupled with what Emmanuel has taken us on Thursday. Then for the assignment, it has also been explained on Friday. If you were in the class, the recording will also be made available. So that will be our correction for the assignment. If that is not enough, I believe that should be enough, Sha. I believe that should be enough. Um, what else? That data is information. I don't have the data. That's the thing. I don't have it. Let me download it. Let me download for it. Download it. Thursday, Abby. Okay, Thursday. I've seen it. See, open. All right, I found it. Don't save. Open. All right. So let me share. Let me stop sharing this. Is there a reason why I cannot? God, I'm just a small boy. Oh. I never old. Oh. All right. Can we see my screen? Can we see this Excel? I need to be sure. Yes. All right. So is this? Yes. This data is already in a table format. I know that because I can see table here already. So the first thing you'd want to do, obviously, is to insert pivot table. Select the table. Yeah. New worksheet. I want it in a new worksheet, and it brings me over here, and I can see from the get go. I know I can drag amounts to values, and I have my amount here, and I can also look at, okay, what salesperson, what are they selling? So this salesperson, each individual salesperson, this is what they sold. And I can also look at what products they've been selling. This is so long. Why is it so long? I also look at what products they've been selling. It's quite a lot. Wait, so if you are saying anything, I cannot. Okay, they are duplicates. Wait, so let me go back to the data. Why are they duplicates? Where's my own tab? Um, uh, yes. Uh, Why? Okay, 492. When you say they are duplicates, what do you mean? Alright, let's delete this one. Delete, delete. So go again. Insert, pivot table, new worksheet. Okay. Now move amounts and move salesperson to column. I want to see the salesperson in column. I don't want to see it in rows now. And products. Anything people are saying in the chat, I cannot see it because me, I'm here. I'm here on this Excel sheet. Please, after nines, onion choco, chips, bars, onion choco. Alright, so 30%. Okay, people are not saying anything. So, quickly, what can we do? Let's quickly look at, just to answer a question, pivot charts. So pivot charts, how do we do that? Inserts, where is inserts? I think inserts. What is that? What is it? I can't even remember. Yes, pivot charts. Channel is somewhere here. Pivot charts. No, because of this, it automatically picked it automatically picked a chart for me. And this is so this not there's nothing you can't pick out any information from this chart. Ah, thank God. My light is back. I can share this screen properly. I can see what you people are saying. Jesus. It's already 9:20. I said I was paying past 9 here. Alright, can we hear me? Sorry. Can we all hear me? Can we all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Uh, I know my enemies do not prevail. They don't want me to shine. Light and internet. Okay, can we all see my screen? Now this pivot, to me, I don't like it though. So the only thing we are going to show is we just show top 10. Pick setting. I want to see who is that? Okay, amounts. Okay. It's already on the Slack channel. Chinelo already sent it to the Slack channel, so we can find it there. I'm going to end this class now because my brain is freezing. Ordinarily, how to check what's it called? How to check top. I just want to check top 10. Oh. I don't know how to check it, so please let's end the call. I need to go and
My
sleep.
question on VLOOKUP, oh, please.
Please don't ask him any
VLOOKUP.
question. Please, in the name of God.
So this has been shared. Please just type your question and send it to me. I don't think your question is on VLOOKUP. Oh. I don't. The question you asked is not on VLOOKUP. Oh.
Okay,
You
proceed.
said
No
it's
worry.
not. Usama. Yes.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Hello.
Yes,
As
Emmanuel.
okay, your data has it been sent to the Slack channel? Thank you.
The data is already on the Slack channel. Okay, so we are done with the class. So if you want to leave, you can leave. But if you have questions for the next 15 minutes, I will entertain questions. Don't worry.
Please, how did you
If I
pull up
can.
the pivot chart?
The pivot charts. Can you see my screen? Let me increase it. Let me increase my screen. So that those of you that want to go to can you see this screen? Is it large enough for you? Can you see these parts? Alright.
It's
So the
really
pivot
tiny.
there's no way I can increase this. The light has gone again. I don't know what I did though. Uh, okay, so the pivot chart, once you click on anywhere on your pivot table, you would see it up here. This is it over here. Pivot chart. Once you click on it, this one you're working with is what I mean. I don't understand what you're saying, please. This one I don't like to toy now. I'm bringing it and taking it. How do I separate this after pivoting? Is it pivot you are talking of or pivot or VLOOKUP? I don't understand. Okpeyemi, you want to confuse me. Eh? Please send it to me privately. Please send it to me privately. I'll look at it. I don't want to waste time here. Send it to me privately. Showed error. Was this part of the data for the VLOOKUP? Anyways, just send it to me. Send any question you have to me. Anybody that has sent questions to me privately, I have answered them. So if I don't answer you here, send it to me privately. I will answer you. And if I don't answer you, I will try answer you. Don't worry. Yes. Any question in 9:15? We'll end this class. 9:15. We'll end it. End this class by 9:15. By now we should be done with Excel sef. We should move on to greater things.
Sir, good evening, sir. Can I say something?
Yes, please say it.
I think I understand what she's trying to say. I think she's saying, imagine you have the ID number together with probably a product. Is there a way you can separate it? Like let the ID number be on a different column and the product be on different column. I think that's what she's trying to ask.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Olayinka. Exactly.
Okay, Olayinka, can you answer the question? If you can answer the question, answer am.
Yeah, I think she will have to go to text to column to separate the ID number from the product. I don't really know how to explain it, but she has to go to text to column to separate it.
All right. If you say that's it, I believe you. She's my fighter here. She's my supporter, my number one supporter. So if there are no other questions,
Please,
because
Mr. Okiki, we still have 11 minutes here. Can you quickly help me with that, please?
okay, let me see. Wait. Let me use the example because me, I don't want. That's the thing. I don't want to think. I don't want to stress my brain. Let me use what Akimbo they sent. Leak data. Click data to text a column on your ribbon. Alright, so let me try this. Let me try this example. Let me copy this and then paste this. Okay, so he said we should use say we should use data. Then from data, we go to data to data. Yes, this data here.